Hey guys, welcome to another week of modeling. I'm Buck with BTM Scale Models, and this week I'll be revealing part 2 of my build-up of the AMT 1400 scale USS Enterprise-D in molded and clear plastic. Just so you guys know, I normally only get to do my builds on the weekends. I have a job like all of us do, but my job, I work usually mid-afternoon to late at night, so I don't get a lot of time to work on my builds during the week. I try to do a little, but most of the time that's taken up with, you know, mornings I work out, so most of the time it's just work out, come home, get ready for work, go to work, come home. So a lot of my stuff I do on the weekends. What I'm going to try to do is I'll upload videos hopefully by Sunday mid-afternoon of what I've done that previous Sunday throughout the week if I get a chance to build, and that Saturday. So this week I did get the black primer color down on the hull, the primer, and then I started with some airbrushing. And well, that didn't quite work out, and I'll let the video explain it to you. Not much point of going into everything I did in the introduction, but just a quick hash. I have started work on etching out and scratching out the windows. I'll explain how I did that. And next week, hopefully, I will finish up etching out or scratching out the windows and start working on wiring and lighting. And while sometimes I don't go through every process on my video, I won't show you all the time to scratch out every detail or airbrush everything. When I do start the lighting, I will sit down and I will go step by step on how I do it, what I do with it, testing, tweaking, whatever. But I do want to say thank you for all the new subscribers. And you know, I appreciate it. This is a great community we belong to, and I hope that you are being able to learn something. I'm able to impart some knowledge. If not, please go to Sci-Fi Annecy, go to the Model Shop, Trekworks, any other sites that I have linked. If I don't cover something you guys need to know, these gentlemen definitely will. So you know, it's a very great community we belong to, so I'm always open to great feedback from you guys. Please leave a comment on the page or follow me at BTM Scale Models on Facebook or at Buckmore on Google+. So let's get in to see how the week went. Alright guys, here's another day on the bench. This is going to be part 2 of the series of the AMT 1400 buildup. Just wanted to show you guys, I did get the primary hull paint down, or not the primary hull paint, but the primer paint. I used black primer to help with light blockage. Now, just be forewarned, when you're building this kit, just because you paint the model kit black, be forewarned that there's still going to be light leaks. You still have seam work you'll have to work on, but this is going to help in the long run. And so I just wanted to show you guys some of the detail that popped out with this when I primered it. I mean, AMT really outdid itself on this clear mold. I mean, the paneling lines, the Aztec lines, as you can see here, most kits you have to paint Aztec, and you know, just as a standalone kit, if you weren't lighting this and wanting to use around 2 decals, it shows all the Aztecing already molded in, as you can see right there. So if you wanted to, you could mask off and actually paint this without actually having to get the decals or an Aztec mask kit. But I encourage you guys to again, do your research, find out what works best for you, and you know, have fun. You know, the biggest thing about building kits is, while you know, there's those of us that like studio authenticity, or you know, being a little more creative, remember, these kits are yours. These kits are who you are. You're putting yourself into them. So don't be afraid. You know, if it doesn't come out exactly like a studio model, well, that's fine, because it's your kit. So as you can see, like I said, I've done all the primer work, and I did 2 coats, black primer. One thing I wanted to show you, remember all that sanding we did? Here you go. So as you can see, you can still see where the sand work is, and this is going to help, like I said, diffuse the light. So what we'll do now is we're actually going to start primary hull color, and then after that I am going to go in with a X-Acto knife, and painstakingly and time-consumingly we're going to scrape away the paint on all the windows that we want to show up. Now, if you think drilling a lot of windows is a long, arduous process, try this kit. Look at this. Look at the neck alone. What we're going to have to do. So, but on a other note, just to let you guys know, I will be painting the top of the secondary hull and get started on that. But I'm going to wait to paint this part of the hull, because as you can see, hopefully, you know, at the end of this there's navigation strobes. Now they don't strobe, they're just constantly on if you watch the series. But what I have to do is I'm going to have to trench to run fiber optics, and the same goes for lighting the nacelles. I'm going to have to go down the pylon and trench so I can run my power lines to do this, but that'll be another video. So right now what we want to do is let's lay some paint down. Okay guys, I've readjusted the camera, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start laying the primary hull color down. This is not going to be completed in one pass. Don't try to make it be completed in one pass. What I'm going to be using is Tamiya Sky Gray XF19. I'm a big lover of the Tamiya acrylic colors. They lay down wonderfully, they dry smooth. But like I said, this is not going to be done in one pass. Now, when I primered the hull black, it was a 2-part process. Not only to help with light block, but to start subtle shading. One of the things you can do with a kit is, as you paint it, you'll notice a lot of builders do what's called pre-shading. This helps define, it helps bring out detail, helps give in essence a life to the model. So as you can see, I've taped off some of the back. I want to protect where I sanded from overspray. Big thing, always wash your overspray, because it's going to happen no matter what. Other thing I did is you keep a cloth around. No, get in frame there, Buck. Keep a cloth around, because you want to wipe off, because I don't know about you, but I live in North Dakota and dust is always an issue. So what you want to do is you want to test it, make sure it's coming out okay, and then just slowly start adding the paint. Now as you can see, I'm holding away. I don't want to put too much paint too fast. Like I said, I want to save the primary. I want to keep some of that detail in the black. So I'm just doing a nice light coat first off, and we'll come back and add subsequent coats. But now the bigger issue is, because this is primered in black, it's going to take a few more coats. And as you can, so what we want to do is little bits at a time. And the other thing I'm going to tell you guys is, don't be in a hurry. This just takes time. So right there, I'm going to leave that, and we'll get going on another piece. Now another thing I want to tell you, keep a Q-tip around, because paint likes to build up in the nozzle and you start getting the drips. You see that? So what we want to do is from time to time clean the nozzle out. Sometimes you have to adjust our air pressure. And let's go on another one. Make sure it's clean. And we'll start painting. Again, like I said, just light coats to begin with, and we'll keep adding. Now what this black's going to do is it's going to give it texture underneath. So again, we don't want to, you know, overdo it, but this comes with practice and time. You just want to, like I said, lightly do the first coat, give it a chance to bind, and like. Interesting issue. Zoom out here. Is from time to time with an airbrush, like I said, you got to clean the tip, and you'll start getting these little spots. So what I like to do, just take a nice little Q-tip and just pull the globs. That's all you got to do. And then as you keep going over and over with more color. So I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch me paint all this, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick tidbit on how the airbrush works, how to start laying down your primary paint. Again, it's slow and steady. Don't be in a hurry. Don't try to lay down too much paint too fast, because like I said, with this clear kit and using black primer, it's twofold. It helps light block, but it also helps start adding shadow. As you can see, when we get into scraping, I'm going to do some panel line work to dig out to deepen some of the existing panel lines that aren't raised, to help give it a little more texture. But just slow and steady, guys. Remember, periodically, as you use paint, you need to wipe your kit down, because you don't want those dust particles staying on your working surface. So I'll come back after I get this painted. Alright guys, just a quick update here. Got all the primary hull color down. I'm not very happy with how it turned out, so I'm going to try something new. But I did want to show you something. When you're working with this kit, it's always good to hold it up to light. Now as you can see, I have done some panel line work, and I'm going to explain that in a second. But I want to show you these little things. Okay? You see all those little white spots coming through? Now that's where the paint is the thinnest. And that's what's going to cause light leaks for you. Let me show you on the saucer section, the upper saucer section. Okay? Just hold it up to the light. And as you can see, there's little light leaks. Now disregard the panel lines, but you see stuff like right there, right there. Okay, that's what's going to cause you issues. See like how it's very light through right here? This is going to cause light bleed. So we're going to have to paint some more. But what I did also want to show you was this. As you can see, I've done some panel line work. Now what I use is this. It's a T.B.I plastic scraper. It's a wonderful product. You use it to help pull back out panel lines that either get lost in sanding or get lost due to buildup of paint. It's pretty little neat. It's got this little blade here, and you just lightly pull it through. So what I did was I re-etched these panel lines. And I ask, why did I do that? Well, I think it adds great distinction to the model. So I wanted to bring them back out before I repainted it. And with the next coat of paint that I do, it's not going to be heavy, but it will allow the decals that I apply later to fit into these panel lines. And I will do some, show you here. I'm going to be using some of this panel line accent color just to lightly bring them out. Remember how I told you guys that making a kit your own, sometimes you add your own little flourish, sometimes it might not quite be full studio scale. So this is my little tidbit. This is how I like to accent the detail. So I'm going to add another coat of paint. I think it's going to be just a little bit lighter gray. I'm going to test it out and see what I think. And after that, we should be ready to move on to scraping out. Okay, welcome back, guys. As you can see, I've gotten the primary hull color down. Now I've changed it up a little bit. I'm going to show you the difference here. This was right here using T.B.I paint that I introduced you guys a little while ago, and this was using a lighter primer color gray paint that I get in a rattle can, and I just liked how it laid down better. It was a little bit lighter and probably getting washed out here due to the lighting on the video, but overall I'm happier with this. For the primary hull color, it's a little bit lighter, and if I need to, I can darken it up with a little bit of weathering, some oils and stuff. But as you can see, I did, like I said, I've etched out all the panel lines to give them a little more depth, and as you can tell, there's still a little light coming through, but we can fix that as we go. The only way to truly test to make sure I don't have any hard light leaks is to get the lighting wired up and put her together so we can see where all the trouble is going to come from. But what we're going to start on next is scratching out the windows, or scraping away the paint to do all the windows. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so here we have our setup, and basically all we're going to do is use a knife here, and we're going to lightly scrape away the windows that we want to have light coming through. I would encourage everybody to either have set up with a magnifying glass or buy one of these that you can find at Hobby Lobby or anywhere. This is just going to help you see where you're scratching so you don't go too far or too wide. Now the great thing on this kit, on the saucer sections as well as the back of the neck and the secondary hull, is the windows are recessed in, so it's going to make it a lot easier to scratch them out. Not so much on this part of the neck, but again they're slightly recessed, so we shouldn't have too much of a problem. But so all we're going to do is we're going to get set up here, make sure I can see. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can check out what I'm doing. And let's see here. Freaking sunlight's bleeding through, guys. Sorry. Alright. Let's get on a section here. We're going to start right here. And then, like I said, I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. We'll do a couple windows and then we'll go from there. So all you want to do is just take the edge of your knife, get in here, and just lightly scrape away. And like I said, it's really nice because these are recessed, so you don't have to put a whole lot of pressure. You just go in and scrape away the paint. Now this technique I'm using, I learned from watching Boyd Compton's check work videos. And when he built this, this is what he did. So basically we're just lightly scraping away the paint. Remember to clean your knife off a little bit as you go, so you can keep getting the paint off. And just keep slowly going. Now, like I said, you want to take your time doing this because you haven't sealed the paint in yet, so you don't want to take too much other than just the window. Not, you're going to have those light leaks again like we're talking about. But we just lightly scrape. And adjust it as you need to make sure you're getting all that paint out. Okay, so zoom back out here, and I'm going to take this off and show you what we did. So basically I just scratched out these four right now. It looks a little rough, and when we go and place the decals on and finish everything else we're going to do, it'll help clean up those edges, and might have to do some touch-up paint. But what I wanted to show you, just like that, we have open windows. So I'm going to finish working on this, and I will come back when I have it done. Thank you. See you soon.